Welcome back, welcome back.
Well, because there are rumors about you and various famous men.
With everything that's going on between Drake and Kendrick Lamar, fans are starting to dig into everyone that's getting exposed in order to fact-check the allegations that have been made about them. And while many old interviews have surfaced recently, one that stood out to many was the one DJ Vlad had with Ruby Rose. In this interview, Ruby is around 21 years old and is talking about rappers in the industry she's hooked up with. This is when DJ Vlad starts bringing up the names of celebrities to see whether or not she had or hadn't. Fans started connecting
Fair use.
the dots when some began going through her old tweets and found some questionable posts that dated back to 2014. In a now deleted tweet, Ruby tagged Travis Scott and said, "I'm saving me for you." And while at first glance this may seem to be just another jokingly innocent tweet, fans then later dig deeper and found an old picture of herself in 2014 where you could see that Travis Scott had liked it. Travis Scott was around 23 years old at the time, while Ruby was still only 17.
I'm gonna name a few.
Okay, I'll tell you.
You can react.
Okay.
Travis Scott.
When I was younger. Oh wait, actually, I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't do this game. I shouldn't do
What made people assume the worst was the part in her interview with DJ Vlad where she mentioned she had hooked up with a rapper when she was younger. And while saying when she was younger could have saved her some face during the interview, it was a weird statement to make considering she was only 21 years old at the time. Some thought it to be very weird that she would say that it happened when she was younger, because that would then potentially mean that she would have been referring to a time when she was just around the 18-year-old mark.
I shouldn't do this game.
I just got a few more names.
Should I do this game? Oh wait, let me see. Because I'm gonna take the ones that are not
Okay,
sure.
when you were younger.
Yeah, when I was younger.
Okay. Shout out to Travis Scott, one of the monsters out there in music right now.
Definitely.
And shout out to his new baby.
Yeah,
His
and his
baby.
beautiful wife.
Beautiful
lady.
21 Savage.
When I was younger. Oh wait, how many more are left?
No, that's it.
Okay, cool. Good.
In the interview, she continues to laugh it off and jokingly asks some
It's enough of that for me, because, that's all I need. I've been noticing an occurring theme of, this is starting. And like I said, your boss got a boss, got a boss. And when a big dog goes down, then, people start looking around, victims start speaking up, other people that just want to, make money, they start speaking up. And everybody starts to realize what has always been. And my father proves himself right. Now, I'm not here to smash on these rappers or these men, but I do want to bring up what I've noticed. I've noticed there's a current theme of rappers that are not from the United States. They come here, they live here when they're whatever, and then they adopt all of the reality of how to talk and whatever. They become rappers and famous, right? And then they don't do what the American black male would do in rap. Well, not all of us. I'm not gonna say, it's not a contest of who's whatever. But like I said, I've noticed over the years these people have been getting caught for certain things, and it's not just this stuff. Like, what was one of these other guys? I think it was Savage. Everybody thought he was actually from the hood that he was from, but then everybody found out that he's not even from here, and he has a London accent. Just like XXXTentacion, that kid, he when you hear him say his name, and then you actually know black Americans don't actually have an accent. We can mimic anyone. We can mimic any accent we want, but we always have our shit that we were programmed, the hood shit, So that's the thing that the Bible said about us that makes us special. Something about our ability to mimic and the non-ability other people have, they can't mimic. Like, there are people that can't say words. Do you know that? There's certain words people can't say. And you don't believe it until you actually go and see it. And then when you see it, you're like, whoa. Then you try to do it. And then when you can do it, get it. Anyway, Give me a second. Hope everybody's doing all right. Anyway, what I really want to talk about, sorta, is the problem. Look at how crazy that is. Look at that. Look at that fucking skyline. You could barely see New York right now. That's crazy. That's crazy. Looks dope though. Anyway, like I made that video yesterday, I think we're gonna do that and continue off this subject that I've already been talking about, connected to the prophecies that I've been saying that a lot of people are going down. This is the point of looking different. This is the point of kids dressed like kids, and adults dressed like adults, and whores dressed like whores, pimps dressed like pimps, cops look like cops. You get it? Because that's the look. So we identify you as this. You get it? Right? Now, the line of adult clothes and kids' clothes have been blurred. Period. They're grown-ups that think they're grown, but if I take you to, after school to where all the kids are, and you're in your regular clothes, and I put you right next to them, the only reason we'll be able to tell some adults from the children is because the children look like children. They have little kid bodies still. But then some of them, they look older. They're bigger. They have big bones and they're fucking 14 and fucking the dude I was telling y'all about, the soldier kid, this kid's bigger than me. He's like fucking 17. He's like 16. This kid's like 6 something. He's fucking huge. Get it? And it's always kind of been like that. Like I remember when I was younger, there were the girls in my class, and then we all looked young, and then there was the one that looked older. She developed faster, right? Now, these younger girls, like I said, everything's blended in. So, one, because she develops faster, she has to wear, different shit, because the things that are meant for her, they're not gonna, always be her size. She may have a bigger chest, a thicker body, whatever. So, when they have the same outfit and design as an older woman's clothes, well, what the fuck? Then you got these weirdos out here, and you could be famous, and you could be a regular guy. Doesn't matter. See how it doesn't matter? All ladies look at brokies and regular ladies, he sweeps the floor. He might be a rapist. He's a fucking millionaire, and he definitely is one. You get it? You know what I mean? Now, that's not to throw shots at anybody, because like I said, they're everywhere and they're on all levels. The problem we're having is protecting our children from these men. And one is when we're never in our kids' lives. 2, we're not teaching our kids, like, sex is an adult thing. And yeah, all of this funny, dunny stuff. But when you get really locked into this shit, and you're forced to be an adult, and you can't be a kid no more, you're gonna be mad. That's one of the things that stopped me from wilding out. Because someone told me a long time ago, you're going to be an adult longer than you're going to be a kid, right? So if you don't enjoy it, when it's gone, you don't get it back, and it never will. And no one's going to treat you like a kid no more, ever again. All that shit's over. You grown now. So, it's really up to the parents to begin to really change the way their daughters are dressing, you know? So at least these men, because men and women, we all go after what we see first, you know? Like, oh, look. And like I said, some of these kids, they look grown, so you're like, oh, wow, who that, you know? And then you find out, and if you're not a weirdo, you reject it and be like, all right, let me get the fuck out of here. But if she wasn't dressed, she already has a developed body, but if she wasn't dressed like a woman, and she had literal kids' clothes and a kid's outfit on, you know, it would be more sick. Like, if a man was talking to her, everyone would look at him like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You get it? What are you doing over there talking to that kid? You're welcome. And then he wouldn't be able to hide behind her for all these years, like, you know? Like, it's so ridiculous. And besides that problem, you know, you got to kind of teach your daughter morality and not want to sleep with older men. And that's another thing that prevents this stuff, because these weirdos can't be successful without these children, you know, going along with it. Some of them are being completely taken advantage of, and under all circumstances, because this person is older and smarter. That's why it's always bad, because they're not experienced. They don't stand a chance against a grown man's mind. They could be manipulated in so many different ways. And that used to be the reason why fathers and mothers talk to their daughters about these manipulations and these things and these, have them dress a certain way and and people. I remember when I was younger, sound the horns, and you're like, oh, that's square and that's boring, and exactly. Weirdos don't like boring. You know what I mean? Like, we have to cut these men off from you have to, I don't have kids. It's your best interest to cut these men off in every way possible, and it's like putting a shield around your kids. Like, it's the same thing like how they used to say about, you know, dressing provocative, and men will approach you in that way because it's true. Because when a man sees that you're not dressed like that, then he doesn't think you're like that. Get it? Sound the horns. And when your kid's dressed like that, they think your kid's like that, because they remember when they were kids and they remember high school. See, all of us like to pretend like we didn't go to high school and we didn't see the truth about the world and the world that was coming. Because if you were doing shit and you were seeing things as a kid, then what the fuck is the adults doing? Get it? Yeah, we all get it. We pretend we don't. It's funny how we all grow up and just pretend everything stopped when you were a kid. All that crazy shit, all of the sexual shit, all of the drug use, all of the lies and scheming, and we really think in our mind, there's no way there's adults doing this. This is the thing they tell us not to do. What the fuck are you talking about? So it's like, as I began to understand and realize by admitting to myself, like, yeah, you remember what it was like, you remember how crazy it was, and, you know, maybe if you are honest about it and, like, say, yeah, it's got to be worse when you become an adult, because duh, you're allowed to choose now. You do whatever the fuck you want. Get it? Doesn't mean your ass ain't going to jail, as we can see. So, it's just like, this is what the Bible, this is why I don't like when people shit on the Bible. Because everything that'll ever come out your mouth about being a moral man and doing the right thing. And as soon as I bring it to the kids, everybody will agree on all these things. And yeah, they shouldn't be out there looking at and they ain't shit. Well, all of those things is what my father said. Those are what the men in the Bible wrote down, and other books they wrote down. But nobody claims none of that shit. You get it? Everybody says, yeah, I'm of that. But as soon as we say, well, we gotta follow these rules, and everybody get mad. But then when the rules don't get followed and then things like this happen, everybody doesn't want to look back and be like, oh yeah, we didn't follow those rules and that's why it happened. You know, they still do things anyway. But just listen, man, it's better to take less chances, you know? It's like being in the wilderness and you have an option to go out there with gear and a gun, or go out there with whatever you bring if you have it. You know, what would you choose? You'd rather be geared up. And that's what the laws are. They're geared to survive people in this crazy ass shit that man can actually do and does do to each other. Give me a minute. Gotta go sign in again. It's very simple when you really think about it. You know? The more we pretend these things aren't real or want to shun the book away, well, you know, there's kind of like things established on that. The things you live on, the places you live at, the things that, you know, when men do things and everybody wants to say, well, you're not allowed to do that. Why? Who gave that authority? Where is that from? You get it? So I try to tell people, it's all fun when we're young and we want to break rules and da-da-da-da. And it's adolescence. It's the creative nature of pushing boundaries. You know? Sound the horns. Now, most people don't realize we live in a generation where that has been done over and over for years, and now we're living in an era where literal parents that actually had that knowledge and passed it down and knew how to, that shit has been over for so long. It's been kids raising kids, raising kids, raising kids. And that generation, we're older now, and the kids count on us. And we don't know what the fuck we doing. If we did, majority of this shit wouldn't be going on. So I don't want to hear that shit, Sharif. Well, all these men, all these women out here trying to lead everybody somewhere and get the big picture of this and the big picture. We're missing the fucking little picture of, we gotta raise our kids better. I know dressing like this gets this attention, so I learned my lesson. I'm not letting my daughter do it. I know selling these things will get you put in jail, so I'm not letting my kids do it. I know acting like this is gonna get him labeled as a fucking loser. I'm not letting them do it. Then we get the dumbass cop-outs of kids are free and they get to choose. No, the fuck they don't. Did you? Did you honestly get to choose? Or did you not listen to what people, the adults, actually told you and you just said, no, I'm gonna do whatever I want? Because you're a kid. You don't know any better. Period. And that's why you should be guided. You shouldn't be commanded. You know? Like, if I had a kid right now, it'd be so easy to raise them to try to make them want to be good, because I don't have to talk anymore. I could just turn on certain things and say, look, this is why daddy tells you not to dress like that. Get it, my daughter? This is why. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to go and find the videos that I already seen with a girl just like you running her fucking mouth just like you. And then a couple years later, she's telling her sob story. And you're going to hear yourself in another form, in another color. And you're going to watch yourself warn yourself and say, don't think you know what the fuck you're doing. You don't. And once you go down that rabbit hole of this, it leads in, you get it? See, I won't have to be the one that, oh, you have to listen to me and I know best. No, all right, you don't want to listen to me. Listen to this adult that used to be you as a kid and talks just like you. They're going to use the exact words out of your mouth. I this and I did. All right, well, look. And then they get a choice. They get more of a concrete, you know, because you're a parent. Remember when your parents just tell you things, you don't fucking believe them. Or you do believe them, and there's this still disconnect of, when you watched your friends, when random strangers told you their stories and shit, and you believe that, because you seen the concrete, you see them crying, you see their lives are fucking stuck now. Get it? Just like with the, this gap of women and dating and men dating and we're not getting along. I always come with the same points as any other man, and it's because it's the truth. Like, we all are gonna die, we all only have so much time, and due to time and things that men eventually want and women want and all this, you know, like, you're on a clock regardless if you think you're not, or if you are not. And you know, once you realize there's people behind you, then you're like, all right, I gotta choose, because someone can choose someone, you know, there's always someone better than me. See, this is what's making my generation and the generation before that. That's why most of us are gonna be alone, because we have that in our heads. Someone's coming. I'm gonna get to choose, and don't realize once you're a certain age, everyone else is not choosing nobody. They went through so much shit. It becomes harder and harder and harder. That's why when you do find someone, and it's hard, you know, I think that's why the Lord said, grow up as a man around like 40, 30 something. When you get your shit together, then choose a woman younger than you. Get it? Like, if everyone actually did that, maybe not everyone, because some people could be the same age and things work out because of whatever. But what I'm saying is, on a big scale, if majority of women were being married in their 25, 21, that's when you're young. And if a man had to, like, become something in this world, you don't have your shit together the way women want. A man can have his own shit by 20, 25, have his own place, but it's not all. He doesn't know all. He doesn't do, you get it? So we have to experience and learn and get ready for our wife. About time you're like 40, you're not an old man, you're in your prime. Even if you worked at fucking McDonald's, if you saved your money and planned for your wife, you're gonna have enough money to do the things she wants to do. You're gonna have enough money to have a decent car. You're gonna have enough money to, if you slip up and have a baby, you don't have to be scared and go, oh, I might want to have, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't. That's what 90% of abortions and breakups of good relationships are. You get pregnant, you don't want to have the kid because you know, oh, I'm not a man, I can't take care of it, fuck, I'm my life and I'm ruined. And if we didn't have those scares at such a young age, when you're a grown-ass man and you already got it, at least, you know, you'll be able to be like, all right, well, I gotta bite the bullet, this is what I did, this is, I gotta do this. Well, I have enough, I have things, at least if I don't have more than enough, I have. You get it? And it would make people, you know, isn't that what most women are dealing with now? I had a baby and he left me. I had a baby with a young guy that wasn't ready. So when you force them, when that gets forced on them, most men are going to panic. Most women are going to panic. Get it? when you remove these situations, when people begin to realize my father knows what he's talking about, and when people actually can get back to these things, which is going to be hard because now we're in a economy that's tanking, so, and then all these things, so all of that, relationships are not, I don't know, it's like, I don't want a relationship based off survival, but I do want a relationship that's based off surviving and working together, because you have to survive life. You're always going to have to survive that. It's what you're doing every day. And making the time, that's what a relationship's about. We're all here for a little bit, and if you choose to be with somebody to share your pain with and get over things with, that's fucking great. If you can get over things and live and be comfortable by yourself, that's great. It doesn't matter how you can get through this life, but I don't think the Lord made us to be alone. Now, this world and its complications, that's what makes us alone. Because if you just go by the numbers alone, if there's so many women and there's so few men, then that means automatically, if everyone legitly just got together, majority of women are destined and was always destined to be alone, and that's why God created you to be alone. Does that fucking make sense? No, it doesn't to me. It doesn't. That would make, my Lord cruel and saying, I'm going to allow all these people, and then you just stuck. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care. Nah, I don't think that. That's why I believe, and then I'm talking about every man. We're not even talking about taking out the bad ones. If we take out the bad ones, then that's even less women. That you get it? Do you really understand that? So then what does that mean for all the other women? What does that mean? Oh, that means you would have to be a concubine, or he gets 2 wives, or whatever. We know that's not going to happen, and I'm not trying to push that. What I'm saying is, there's going to be a lot of lonely people, and you have children, so learn to protect them, learn to get them morally right. All love, all praise to the Most High.